Edmund Campion, who's our patron here in Campion Hall, was a great Oxford man. He was a great scholar and a great speaker, rhetorician. And no doubt there are many things that are very much of his time, a time of persecution of Catholics. But what remains an inspiration to us today is that he, while being an academic who excelled in academia, he was a kind of superstar in the university, he was always open to a higher calling.
So Campion had arrived in the summer of 1580, but by July 1581 he had been betrayed, captured and imprisoned. He was tortured, given a sham trial along with 2 other priests, and on December the 1st, 1581, he was tied to a hurdle and dragged along to Tyburn, where he was hanged, drawn and quartered.
These books are some of the early copies of works by Edmund Campion that we have in the rare book collection in the Jesuit archives. So in particular, we've got copies of his 10 Reasons, his Rationes Decem, and this is it translated into English because he originally printed it in Latin. So this is our earliest copy in 1584, so just a couple of years after he was martyred. Printed abroad because it was so dangerous to print Catholic books in England. All these books are very tiny, so they could be hidden because it was also dangerous to own these books.
I think for me, Edmund Campion is one of my inspirations for entering the Society of Jesus. I mean, I read about him in a book with vignettes of various Jesuits down the ages, and I mean, I couldn't have described it in these terms at the time, but this was somebody who exemplified many of the key values of St. Ignatius of Loyola, indifference, not preferring a long life over a short life, health over sickness, comfort over difficulty. This is someone who chose the difficult path for the Lord, whether that was in his conversion to Catholicism, his choice to become a Jesuit on the continent, or his accepting in obedience the mission to come to England at a time where he knew that this could be fatal, as it turned out to be. So this is someone who really exemplifies the best of what it means to be a Jesuit. For me, a Jesuit is someone who is prepared to take that leap of faith in the Lord, trusting that the Lord is there and is prepared to go into the unknown. And that's our charism.
So what we have here is a rope relic of Edmund Campion. This is just a small piece of the rope that would have tied Campion to the hurdle that took him to his execution at Tyburn. This is a particularly poignant relic. It's likely that a Catholic in the crowd at his execution would have smuggled this away. The rope was presented to the Jesuit Robert Persons, who accompanied Campion to England in 1580, but he had escaped when Campion was captured. Persons wore it wrapped around his waist for the rest of his life. The full relic is still placed on the high altar at Stonyhurst on the 1st of December, which is Campion Day every year.
So at his crisis of conscience in Oxford, he left the university because of that calling, and he returned again back to England for the same reason. So twice he gave up a glittering career, once in Oxford, once in Prague, because of his dedication to the kingdom of God. So that magnanimity, if you like, that search for what is greater and more service to God, continues to inspire us today and urges us on to greater things in service of the Lord.